We're back. Howe. Come on. This has to catch on.
I'm not subscribing to that.
Richard Martin's back again.
This is instead of the zebra. So get used to it,
that's the first time I've seen that, which obviously, because of the zebra, you obviously kept quiet from me. Slightly dubious, you pair of dodge bullets. But anyway, that's actually that is better than the zebra. To be fair, that's better than the zebra. So there you go.
Right, we're back again. We're back. It's Friday night. And not much football, as in club football to talk about, but there's plenty of action around Newcastle to get us through a show. But let's, without further ado,
England are 1-0 up as well, by the way, Daz. Sorry.
Thanks, Martin. Why would I care about that?
I know. Actually, it was a decent. I actually thought it was a really good game from Ireland last night.
Yeah, and I don't care about them either because they are useless. Okay, I know the drew in Portugal, but they're useless.
Jesus Christ!
No, you didn't see the lads probably haven't seen it, but obviously the Irish news here today. What happened was, obviously, I don't know if anybody's seen it, but a little girl ran on the pitch to get Ronaldo's shirt. Ran on, got the shirt, got a cuddle off Ronaldo, and then the Irish Football Association and the police fined her 3,000 for running on.
Oh my God!
So yeah, there's literally been a statement from the FAI and the police to say that they understand the situation and she now won't be fined, and the fine is 3K sent to her father.
Mark, I actually want to ask this. What's this about Hendrick being reborn after last night's game?
I'll send you the highlights of the game, Richie. That's so untrue.
I'd say the highlights are probably the girl when on the pitch.
Yeah,
that's probably the highlights of the game.
But that has been the talk of Irish news today. A 12-year-old getting fined $3,000 for running on the pitch, but never mind.
Unbelievable.
Jesus.
Quality.
Seriously.
At least they've done a U-turn.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's time to bring our first guest out. She's very nervous. I see she's sweating there in the background. Okay, so you might have heard us talking about 1892. It's our new sponsor, and it's a new clothing range that is being launched on the 1st of December. But instead of listening to us talk about it, let's all listen to Bronwyn talk about it. So welcome, Bronwyn.
Hello. Thank you for the show.
Hi, Bronwyn.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm buzzing to work with you. I've been meant.
Good to have you aboard.
Exactly. So for those that don't know, and we did kind of say this, so obviously I was kind of raiding Twitter. We've had a couple of sponsors over the last year. Obviously we're still working with Centre Rail in Newcastle there. And I've seen your tweet for 1892United.com, and I thought, God loves a trier. So in fairness, I sent you a DM and I said, hey, listen, we've got this channel. Really love the brand. I know you're launching. How do you fancy kind of being a sponsor? We're looking for somebody real up and coming. And in fairness, she came straight back to me and went, what's it going to cost me? What am I going to do? How does it work? Can you show me where the traffic goes and all this stuff? And I was like, oh man, she actually knows what she's talking about. Now I've been sussed out. So I was kind of blagging it a little bit. But to be fair, we've kind of been bouncing backwards and forwards on the DMs and tweets and stuff over the last couple of weeks. And in fairness to you, you came back and you went, yeah, do you know what? I think it could be really good. So yeah, let's go for it and see what happens. And that to be fair to you, that's a fair gamble for somebody starting out with a brand new brand. But certainly from Daz, Pete, Richie, Chris, and me, we just like to really say thanks while you're live here on air for having a little bit of faith in us, lads. And certainly from our perspective, we'll try and help drive you on all we can. I mean, there's a gang of people watching there. We have our regulars. I'm sure they're all signed up and they'll all buy something online, ideal Christmas gifts and everything else. So tell all of us and those that don't know, what made you come up with the brand? Kind of what are you doing at the moment, like work-wise and stuff? Does it link it to work, or was it just kind of something you went, do you know what? No, I'm going to launch this and I'm going to go for it. So how did it come about?
So Me as a person, right, I've probably started every single business you can think of. Like, I'm always trying to do different things, and it just never sticks. So, like, the other day, my mum and dad were like, "Are you excited?" I was like, "Yeah, it's just I'm doing this all the time." But now, like, because I've had so much support from you guys and everyone else on Twitter, I'm like, this might actually be something really good. So, like, it basically, obviously, I went to matches with my dad, my sister, and my cousin for ages, but like every time I would see like my dad and my cousin go out on the night time, like clubs and pubs wouldn't let them in with the Newcastle tops on, so they kind of just stopped wearing them and they just wear like what they'd be wearing to go out, which is a shame because I remember the matches being like black and white everywhere. Everyone had a shirt on when I was younger, and like obviously now with the bars not letting you in case it causes trouble, it just kind of like snowballed from there. And I was like, well, I love history, and then I love like Newcastle's history, and I'm like 1892, and I thought of like what clothes could like lads. I know it's lasses and lads. I mean, I'm doing lads at the minute, just like their clothing because the majority of our supporters are male. But I do want to bring out a women's line and stuff like that. But it all started from just being a fan myself and noticing that fans don't really like, they can't go out on a night basically with the tune tops on, like so what can it incorporate, like something can go out with, but also that's Newcastle United. So there we are, model.
Yeah. Exactly. Hi, Chris. Yeah. We should have actually got Chris to wear a t-shirt. Yeah. Okay, so the launch is December 1st. The website is up and running now, and people can get onto it. Daz, can you throw that up if you've got it?
I can. Of course.
Yeah, somewhere there
in
the doctors. So obviously 1892 opening soon. So you can get on to the website 1892United.com, and you can put your email address Eddie Howe at NUFC. Actually, you should send that, Daz. And you will drop onto the mailing list, and then once they're on that mailing list, then Bronwyn, from December 1st, what happens? Do they get updates of new lines, launch specials, promos? What happens once you're on your mailing list?
So I haven't sent an email to anyone who signed up yet because I know how bad it can be when you're bombarded with emails. And I mean, it's not until the 1st of December, so I'm going to wait nearer the time. But the idea with obviously getting people on the mailing list is I haven't put plans in place yet, but I want to give them something special that you have signed up for. Like, I mean, it always makes me want to sign up to a brand when they're launching something if I'm exclusive. So I am coming up with something that you'll get. I don't know what it is yet, but you'll be the first to know. But it'll be in advance of the 1st of December. But being on the mailing list as well, when I launched the website on the 1st of December, because Newcastle United become Newcastle United in 1892, it was actually on the 9th of December. So that day, there's going to be, you are the first to hear this. This is where it's
like this.
A lot
exclusive. Okay, hang on so 1 second, Bronwyn. There we go.
Oh, breaking news. Yeah, that's it. Love it, thank you. Yes, breaking news. So on the 9th of December this year, which is exactly to the date, 129 years after Newcastle United become Newcastle United, there's going to be a limited product available. I'm not 100% certain on what one it's going to be, but it's only ever going to be available on the 9th of December every single year. So it's one day out the whole year you can ever buy that. I mean, I'm open to ideas and I'm still looking at stuff at the minute, but one of them was going to be like a Christmas jumper. But like, how are the lads? Like, obviously for Eddie Howe, but that's just an idea at the minute. So if you have got ideas, let us know. Put them in the comments, messages, put them on Twitter, tell the guys at Loaded Mag, and then we can see what we can do.
Okay, cool.
That's good.
So then December 1st, you go live.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can get online. They can start getting their t-shirts, sweatshirts. So at the minute when you launch on December 1st, what products are going to be available from kind of day one?
Right. So I'm still sorting out a couple of things, but I can tell you the definite ones that are going to be on. You might have seen it on my Twitter a couple of times, but I'm wearing one of the t-shirts now. Obviously doesn't fit us because for a man. So, but like it's got 1892 across the chest, and then it's got it on the sleeve. So these will be in black with white writing, or like the picture, white with black writing. And I've tested a couple of different qualities, and this one's like the best quality, and I want them to be more affordable as well. So you'll all have to get one. And then the other definite product is these jumpers. I mean, the sweatshirts, but the quality's so good. And then it's just got 1892 stitched in the middle. So this one's printed, this one's stitched. And then I'm waiting for a couple of others. So one of them that I'm really hoping to get on that's it, yeah. Took today.
It's like we planned this, Bronwyn. We didn't. We don't plan anything. Everyone should know that by now.
I was just going to say, I don't think one of our sponsorships has ever gone so well that we've actually had everything in the right place at the right time.
Watch it all fall apart very soon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But sorry.
But what I liked about this, Bronwyn, is it's the stitching, because if you sometimes you buy something that it wears down over time, a few washes. But it's cool that it's stitched in. So
nice. I was gonna get these stitched, but because the t-shirt's a bit thinner material, I wasn't sure how it would show, and it wouldn't let us get this embroidered. And I mean, it's all right, and I've washed it, and it's been fine. So
yeah. But for a t-shirt, the t-shirt ended up costing 80-90 quid if we got it embroidered and
But another product that I haven't received a sample of yet, so I can't guarantee it's going to be on the site because I want to make sure that the quality's there. Is like woolly hats, like your normal Newcastle hats, but with 1892 on. I mean, that's my dad's idea. He's like, make sure I'll have one of them. So that needs to go on. I'm just waiting for the sample to get here.
Cool. There's a question there, Bronwyn, from George. Will you do custom design? So I'm guessing maybe, George, you wanted maybe a name or something into it, or is that your plan, or is it going to be standard?
I've had it at the minute, no, but I am open to all the ideas because I've had loads of people message me on Twitter with suggestions of even like jackets and stuff. But for now, I can't commit to that because it costs us a fortune.
Yeah.
Everything is. So.
Yeah,
I think in the future.
Yeah, I think for me, like I seen some of the pictures you sent me early on last week by email, and I think the startup of like t-shirts and some sweatshirts is a really good thing. Like I seen the t-shirt, and I thought like that's something like I could say to my missus, that's the kind of thing I like for Christmas. So because I don't live in Newcastle anymore, they're the kind of things that to me mean a little bit because there's something different from home. Yeah. So I think they're good ideas. And I was just actually thinking about the bobble hat where you're talking about the kind of the bobble hats and stuff. I was thinking kind of retro old school. So I was thinking kind of like I used to love the half and half hats. So I was thinking if you had a hat that was kind of like half white, half black, but it had the 1892 on it.
Yeah.
Just something like that could be really cool. Like with the 1892, like on a patch on the front, but like embroidered then on the patch would be pretty cool. So
that is nice. See, all these ideas, I want to hear them. They're so good, and I can like.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm definitely trademarking that one now. Like that's.
Oh yeah, I had a question for you. So, like when you get up and running, and you get the first month, and the profits go to the food bank, and you get up and running after a couple of months, will you consider doing a loaded range? The 1892 loaded range. Yes. There's an idea.
That sounds so good because I love your logo.
No one will buy it, but it sounds so good.
I think it's a cool logo. We'll buy it. I think she'll once she's donated the profits to the food bank and then done the next bit of the range, I think Bronwyn will probably need to be loaded before she even considers doing something for us. But just to step back on that, and again, we did talk about a bit about it on our show last week and stuff. Just tell people exactly what is the plan for December, because we've kind of breezed over it there and kind of went, you donate the profits to the food bank. So just what's the thought behind that? Because obviously for a startup to kind of launch in a month and then kind of go, well, you know what, I'm going to do this in my first month, like fair play. But like, what's the idea around that rather than just kind of going, right, I'm going to launch and I'm going to see what I can make?
I think because obviously the idea behind the whole 1892United.com is something for the fans, by the fans. Like that's that's what it was about. Like, yes, I do. Like, the more I've spent time on it and put work into it, I do want to make it like such a really good business. Like, I was thinking of it in the club shop and everything like that, but without getting carried away, I just pulled it back and I was like, why am I doing this? Like, it's to help people. It's to, well, you know what I mean? Like, it's to give people other options, and there's no way better to promote something or to get the name out there than actually genuinely helping people just out the kindness of your heart. Like, for me, the way you's reached out to me was like I've had Toon Talk message me and support me without expecting anything in return, which is absolutely amazing. Davy Craig retweets everything I put on, such a top guy, and you guys did the same. And it was just like so many other people out of complete selflessness to support us, and I'm like, how can I then do that myself, sort of thing. And I went to one of the talks at the food bank that Bill was holding at the Irish. First time I'd been in that Irish Tyneside Centre opposite the town, and was like, I've never been in here. But like, they had this big meeting, and the food bank were there, and they were talking all about it, and it was just an absolute no-brainer. That, like, I was like, what? Christmas as well, like, they need it more than ever. And they were saying they've opened up two more food banks, and obviously that's not what they want. Like, they want them to be closing because people don't need them. And I think, touch wood, I'm fine, but like, everyone could be in that position, and I can't give me time to help them with it, or on the match days, like, I haven't got I can't give me time to do that. So this is my way of sort of giving back.
Very good.
Great idea.
I think it's great. So we're getting loads of people putting in ideas. So we've got 1892 socks, beanie hats. George has come back. Yeah, I like the idea of the half and half hat with the 1892 on it, and perhaps a loaded badge on the back. Great idea, George. I think baseball caps. Someone put dressing gowns. Christmas jumpers, definitely a winner. So look, people are buying into it. So.
I'm gonna speak up for Adam, who's in the green room. Adam would like a big woolly jacket because he spends a lot of time outside the training ground. So a nice 1892 woolly jacket. He's nodding. Yeah. He's all on for that.
If I do one of them, you have to give it to Eddie Howe. I need him wearing this.
Actually,
don't make do another 12-hour stint. I'm sure
it might be a good time actually to bring out Adam, because Adam is, and I feel sorry for that. He's been stalked by this Eddie Howe guy all week long. Eddie Howe is stalking him. So you see here, Eddie Howe is annoying him when he's out for his walks. Eddie Howe is annoying him when he's walking around the St. James's Park, and even when Adam goes to collect his post, Eddie Howe is in his face as well. The guy can't get away from him. So let's bring him out. Let's bring out Adam. Welcome, Adam.
Hello, man. Thank you.
Hello, man. How are you?
You're a great joke, I'll tell you that. But now I really appreciate the invite on. Thank you. Apologies for being a pain in the backside early on. I mean, again, blame Eddie Howe for leaving at 7 o'clock at night. But I do really appreciate the invite on. Thank you so much.
No problem. Good having that, Adam.
Welcome, mate.
You can't look anywhere, but you're there this week, Adam. You're on Sky, you're on ITV, but fair play to you. You're really getting out and about. So well done.
So Daz, go on. Just to drop back. Sorry, Adam. Just to drop back. Obviously, to close out Bronwyn's piece. So we're going to keep promoting. Bronwyn is going to work with us and give us regular updates. We'll do some stuff when the launch goes live. When she does the exclusive stuff, we'll give you some detail on that. What we've agreed, one of the things we've agreed very graciously from Bronwyn as part of the sponsorship is every month she's going to give us something to give away. But there are two conditions, and this is fairly new for Loaded Mag. So Daz, do you want to take us through the first part?
The first part is we have launched membership. So it's now possible for people, as well as the super chats which are open. We've now launched membership. So for $1.99, you have the choice, if you wish, to sign up as a member of Loaded, and you get the usual stuff. and you get placed in the draw for a monthly prize from our sponsor, if we have a sponsor at the time, of course. So going forward, we hope it's with Bronwyn, and we'll have a prize to offer at the end of each month, and we'll run a draw, and the winner will get the prize. That's there available, and you can click join if you so wish. It's everything is still free if you don't want to join up. But what it would do is it would help us towards keeping the channel alive, I guess, and covering the costs as we move into to next year, and try and keep the loaded show on the road.
Exactly. So that's stage one. Stage two to the monthly draw is you must also be on Bronwyn's mailing list. So that's the two criteria. Get onto the mailing list, one, and then secondly, get yourself on for $1.99 a month. As Daz said, it helps us keep the channel alive, lets us bring content, and helps us just try and kind of fund a little bit. Nothing goes into our pockets. It goes to help fund StreamYard, which we pay for ourselves every year to help bring the content. And obviously we want to keep bringing it the same as Adam does and all the other fellas and lads and lasses that do YouTube. So they're the two conditions. So sign up if you want to become a new member. We've already got one. There you go. There's the
first. I was going to say we got some breaking news.
Two man. Yeah, there you go. 2man 144 is the first official member. Well done.
Congratulations.
Thank you, 2man.
That your membership is the only way anyone can get a free product. So they haven't got a choice. He's going to have to become members.
Exactly.
Love it.
No pressure. Thanks very much, 2man 144. Fair play to you. So there's the first. So look, it was one of those things. The lads, we kind of chatted about this over a couple of weeks, and we've been wondering whether we should switch on the option for membership or shouldn't we. We looked at pricing. We looked at kind of what we wanted to do. So we kind of went with the $1.99. We think that's a fair pricing for what we do and what we bring. To be fair to Daz, he puts in a huge amount of effort to produce the shows, get slides ready.
We all do.
We all spend time tweeting and doing stuff. Pete spends a lot of time pulling in different guests, as does Chris. Chris does a lot of Avon, but yeah, Chris turns up. Richie does a lot of stuff. Also in pulling bits together, getting people in, getting the tweets out.
Breaking news.
And there's Julie. There's another one. We've got two members. Happy days. Julie Baker.
Julie has joined us as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Julie.
Julie will get you a pint next week as a thank you.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. So it helps us to keep it going and keep the content coming. And as Bronwyn said, you've got to be a member if you want to get in the draw. So become a member, get into the draw, get on the mailing list, and we'll do something. Hopefully at the back end of November. And then we'll do something again in December. And as we move on, as long as Bronwyn wants to stay with us, we'll keep doing something every month.
Cool.
So that's it.
Bronwyn, I had a quick question for Bronwyn, actually.
Yeah, go for it.
Bronwyn, so I love like the motto, like the by the fans for the fans. I think that's absolutely fantastic. I just wanted to say I thought this is a fantastic opportunity, for your brand, because we've now obviously got the new deal with Castore. And they brought out some really nice stuff, haven't they? But it is like more at the top end of the spectrum, in terms of pricing and stuff like that. I mean, you don't have to answer this, but have you been like looking at all the Castore stuff and like kind of getting ideas from them, and then maybe looking at making things more affordable or going down a different route or something like that?
I haven't looked at their stuff because I don't want to be
like copycat.
Yeah, but I don't want to be influenced by them because I've seen so many negative comments by them. I kind of don't want to associate myself with that. But I do want to be this is the thing, when you start thinking in the future, what you want to say, and I'd love to see where is it, it like that, where Adidas and stuff would go, the actual branding, that's way in the future. So if Amanda, you're watching, right? But I have looked at pricing and. Obviously, I look at how much it costs me, and at the minute, the way it's going to work is as soon as someone orders, it then gets made to order. They're not pre-made and then sent out. So it's a bit more expensive for me doing it like that, but I don't know how many it's going to sell to know how many I can buy in. But I still want to make them affordable. So these T-shirts, for example, obviously it's absolutely massive on me, but they'll come in loads of different sizes. And I mean, the price range for these aren't going to be like, I haven't settled on the prices yet. They're going to be around about £22 mark. It's not going to be extra, but the quality is really good. So that's the balance I want to make, want to get. So
yeah, and to be fair, I think that's a hard balance to get because if you go too far in 1892 Avon class, if you go too far up it, if you go too far on the scale, then people are not going to buy. And then if you give on the quality, then and you charge something, then people are going to go, well, that's not great quality for what I paid. So it is hard. So we get that. But look, hopefully what we'll do once you're kind of got the few bits in, me and the lads will order a couple of bits and we'll start to wear them. Good job they do come in different sizes because we're an odd shaped bunch, the five of us. So that'll be good anyway.
Bronwyn,
but look,
did you do some gloves?
Sorry?
Would you do gloves?
I want to. I can't commit to loads of products at once because I've got to get them in and stuff like that. So definitely the hats, I think, and I'll look at gloves tonight.
Yeah, I love a pair of gloves. Like I'm from the middle of the country, so when I come up north, everything's colder up there. I need some gloves. I want some 1892 gloves, 18 on one side, 90 and 92 on the other.
Custom.
Custom made.
Loaded in the other side,
loaded on there. Why not? Let's get it done, Bronwyn. Let's get it done.
I'll have a look. Thank you.
We thought, are you thinking about doing anything like polos, Bronwyn?
So I did originally have polos on the list, but the sample that came, I wasn't happy with the quality, so I haven't found a better alternative yet. The same with like I'm being so open and honest here about all these products line, but there was long sleeve tops as well. I was buzzing about them, and the quality came in a sample, and I just wasn't impressed. So I'd rather not put it on because it's not 100% what I would buy or buy for someone else. But I do want to do polo tops because my dad loves them. So he's like, I need them. So I'm still looking at the minute. Might be for the first, but at the minute, no.
I don't know whether you saw I put a nice little idea in the private chat. I don't know if you were reading it before or not. Just for your limited edition thing on 9th of December, just for the T-shirt, I thought it might be a good idea to do something as the one-off as one of the away colours from the shirts, one of the change kits or something like that as a one-off each year. But what you could do is to get fan interaction is put the choice of the colours up and get them to vote. The fans to vote which one they prefer, and then you can then go from there or something like that. Because I think the blue away shirt, the third shirt, will be a nice one as a T-shirt this year.
Yeah, that's lovely. Yeah, really good idea. I mean, like I've looked at the blues, but the supplier that I'm using at the minute, the blues aren't the best. But it's a good idea for getting sort of a limited top. Like the one that Daz has got on, I'd love to do something like that. But like with like 1892, but those colours are just mint.
Yeah.
I think anything retro like will go down really well. Do you know what I mean? It's like you can't get most of that stuff now, and what you can get is like huge price and some of it. Like I like the old yellow and green kit, but you could do the yellow and green. You could do loads of stuff. I think that's the good thing with it. You've got so many opportunities. So look, hopefully you grow massive because we're on at the front end of it. So if you get minted and make it rich, then you can just employ all of us as your full-time YouTubers and stuff. And we can look after you. So look, we'll leave you at that. You're more than welcome to stay around with us if you want. If not, you can bail out and go and chill and watch the show. But you're more than welcome to stay if you want to stay. But Daz, I think it's time, Pete, would start having a bit of a chat with Adam and see. He's not been up to much the last few days, so probably hasn't got much to talk about. Yeah.
Shout out to Nathan as well, who has joined up as a member. Cheers, Nathan.
Take care.
End of the show. Nice one. So let's get into it. Bronwyn's gone. Good luck, Bronwyn. She's
gone off with it. She's gone off with all those design ideas.
She's so many ideas now. She's going to be writing them all down her notepad. Yeah, let's get into it, lads. Pete, do you want to start us off?
Yeah. Firstly, welcome, Adam. And it's been a busy day for you. Appreciate you taking the time to pop on the show. I know obviously me and yourself have been talking for a few weeks now to get you on, and for various reasons we've not been able to. But it's great to have you on the show finally. First of all, look, you made a massive decision to step away from uni to obviously take on doing your podcasting full time. Firstly, what did you make of all some of the negative comments that you received, and also how have you been getting on so far? Are you enjoying it, and do you see it being something of like a long-term venture for yourself?
In terms of negative comments, I feel like criticism is fair. Yes, it doesn't matter what I do, people will be negative towards me. I feel like if it's criticised, it's okay. But the thing is, when I see these negative comments, the first thing I say is it's the people. It's the same people week in and week out. I mean, you can go on about it all the time. It's the same every single Newcastle YouTube. I mean, or any YouTuber in general. I mean, it's just unfortunately how life works. Even though it's not nice, these comments, obviously reading them with people just being whole with you, it's not great, but. In a business sense, though, again, though, it's just people talking about you, which is kind of what you need in social media to try and get yourself out there. But a lot of people kind of criticise me going full time in terms of obviously leaving my university course or not doing a university course alongside my YouTube channel. I've already got a foundation degree in sports. It's not that I've just completely thrown it all the way up. I'm already kind of somewhat set in terms of university at the minute. And in terms of my channel, I've thought about it for quite a while. I was originally going to do full time next season, but it was about 2 months. It was the 2 months before the takeover happened, but the money was starting to become really good. And I think the second the takeover happened, it was just that chance to really push myself out there. It's my chance to really take an opportunity because this football club has now had a reason to be watched. One of the biggest problems being Newcastle YouTubers is that people across the world wouldn't watch you because. I mean, why would do your team that's not ambitious? Your team has a terrible owner, and in terms of the financial side of it, it wasn't great. But now that we've got so many people out there that supporting the football club across the world, I mean, it was a good opportunity for me. Money wise, I'm fine at the minute, so it's not really sort of a risk of how I'm going to do. Yes, my long term future in a couple of years' time might be uncertain, but in terms of right now, I mean, obviously my channel is just going as best as it's ever been, so. Yeah, I stand by my decision. I'm glad I made it, and I mean, I'm living my dream. Is probably the best way of putting it.
Definitely, you know, there was certainly for yourself, but I think for everyone when the takeover happened, there was like a massive boom of interest. And you're right, you know, beforehand, who would want to sort of be interested in watching Newcastle because of the reasons that you said, but now we seem to be the talk of the tune, should we say? Everyone wants to know what's going on in Newcastle. So if anything, it's kind of been sort of a positive. But you know, look, let's get down to it. You've been very busy this week. You know, you've been a regular at the training ground. I think they'll set up a bed for you. I think getting into next week. You've been a regular. How has that been? You know, you were one of the first guys to get a photo and actually meet our new manager. How has that been for you? Not just as someone that runs a podcast, but as a fan, being a sort of a big part of that and having like, you know, something that's been so popular in terms of your videos and your vlogs and things that you've been putting out there.
Well, in terms of Eddie Howe to begin with, I was actually really negative about him when I first heard about him coming to Newcastle United. I don't know why I was snappy about him. I just assumed that, we've got new owners, we've got all this money, we can do better, because I felt like on the mic, actually, we could have got this guy. And I don't know what it was. I was just really bitter towards him, I would say. I was really harsh on him. And it was something that literally, like, the next day I already kind of went against. 100% back this guy. I've seen him now twice in terms of the training ground. I mean, 12 hours a Monday waiting for him, 13 hours a day. I mean, this guy likes to work at the training ground. And I feel really bad about him. 100% back him. I believe he can do well. I know he can do well. And to begin off with actually him as a manager, I mean, I was really bad towards him, but now, I mean, I'm probably, you could say I'm obsessed with the bloke, but I do 100% believe that he is the correct choice at the end of the day. In terms of being one of the first fans to meet him, I mean, I think everyone's seen the video now where he comes out the training ground, he misses the fans, he drives up to the end of the road, then he realises and he comes all the way back down. I mean, the second he drove past us, I was like, oh no, like my heart sank, but yeah, I mean, once I saw those lights come on, he came back down the road. I mean, it was just goosebumps, really. Being one of the first fans to meet him, I mean, it was great. It was definitely worth the wait.
Do you know what, Adam? Just to add in, and you're not alone in that, because when we were getting linked with Howe, especially after the takeover, I was, one of the doubters, so to speak, in terms of I was a bit, I was kind of all in on Emery. And then I was thinking, looking forward to him. And then obviously Howe got announced. And don't get me wrong, I'll always back the manager in terms of, you give somebody a chance. I did the same with Bruce. I did the same with McLaren. I did the same with Pardew. Even though I didn't agree with them getting the job, I still backed them initially because I think it's only fair. You've got to give someone, a fair crack of the whip. But like you, I had my doubts about Howe. But to be fair, and partly this is down to you as well, Adam, when you see how passionate he is, the way he speaks about the club, the hours he's putting in, the effort. I mean, we were all drooling, weren't we, as Newcastle fans, when we saw that training ground video. And we were just like, oh my God, he's actually training the players. Yeah. And I just wanted more and more. And I was thinking, this is great. I mean, it must have been great for you, to meet him outside as well. And what struck me the most with the, the short videos that you put on is how, genuinely how much of a nice guy he seems. The fact that he reversed, like you say, he went down the road and then he reversed and come back and, spoke to the fans. And even outside, when he's been in big, long meetings and he's probably been preparing for the meetings and then having the meetings and he comes out the stadium and, he's got all the time in the world for the fans. And I just think that long may it continue, but he just seems a good fit for what we need right now. I mean, to ask you a question after that long speech, but do you think he is going to be here for the long term? Obviously, you signed a 2.5-year deal initially. Do you think he's going to be, he could go past that?
I think it's too early to call because, again, our future is uncertain. We could still get relegated this season. Let's be honest, we haven't won a game yet. I personally don't think he'll get more than 2.5 years, but who knows? I mean, again, after that Wolves match, for example, Paul commented before, I mean, me and him went down there. I watched one of the worst away games in years. We lost 2-1. Mike Ashley and Steve Bruce, I mean, 4 days later, I take what happened. I never ever would have saw that in a million years. So you could never predict the future. You don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, I would look to succeed. I really want him to. But I do personally think he'd be a short-term option. I really feel like in the future, depending on where Newcastle are, it does depend on where we are. I feel like we will try to get some bigger names in just to try and draw some more players at the club. But again, it just has to see how we are. He's clearly engaged, Eddie Howe. He's clearly ready to work. I mean, you see him in the YouTube videos, even when he's in the Newcastle training ground, just how much work he's putting running all over the place already. I mean, for example, today I watched him today from the top of the hill, and you can hear him shouting from across the field. I mean, it's mental. I mean, this guy, I mean, he's on it straight away. If the player did something wrong, he's snappy. He's constantly on it. He's always sort of lecturing the players, which is great. I think Newcastle have lacked a leader as a manager. I mean, under Steve Bruce, I mean, everyone knows. I mean, the players just embarrassing at times under him. And I feel like we needed someone to kind of kick them up the backside. And I think Eddie Howe is someone that's clearly going to do that. So, yeah, I would love to see him do well, but I personally don't think he'll get more than 2.5 years at this current time.
I think one of the things I found really interesting from when I saw the videos was he was critical of Bruce's regime, but in a very, very polite way. When he was turning around and saying, I'm not being conservative, it's just different. The training's different. And I thought that was very, very good on a coach's base. Like, he wasn't slagging off a peer, but he was telling the players, what I'm going to do is going to improve the results on the pitch and stuff like that. And I thought that was a really good way that he got that across. And the players are reacting to that. And obviously what you were saying there, like the fact you can hear him talking from the hill, which is quite a way away from the training pitch, and to actually make out what he's saying, he always gets across his views concise and clear.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. In terms of what you said about Steve Bruce, though, I mean, yeah, again, I felt like if he was to say something bad about Steve Bruce, the media being his back straight away, and that's the worst thing to do as a manager. You got to win over the fans, you got to win over the media straight away. And so far he's doing that. That interview he put on was a Wednesday, I think it was. I mean, that's one of the best interviews I've ever heard from anyone at Newcastle. I mean, it was incredible. He's saying he's going to treat Newcastle like his own family. I mean, yeah, he's ticking all the correct boxes, probably the best way of putting it. But I'm really excited to see what he can do. That Brentford match, I mean, I wish it was an international break. I'd love that to be tomorrow. But yeah, a week sort of anticipation. I'm looking forward to it now.
I think the good thing for me, and there's a couple of things I'd like to bring up, but one of the first points, I think I think we've got a really cool, smooth PR team working behind the scenes now as well at the club, from the Twitter to the website to how it's handled. And then you obviously got, Amanda is kind of, don't want to use the word too wrongly, but kind of, she's engaging and smooching the press, for want of a better word. I thought her interview was really good. There was a fair bit of flack. I think it was Keith Downey asked the question of Eddie Howe about the human rights and everything else. Listen, people are going to ask those questions. I thought Eddie handled it really well. He was obviously prepped for it. It's all about the football. And just, I think from those perspectives, the training, I thought from the training, the interesting thing for me was the first thing he did on the training was all the players back and they did the beep test, which I thought was interesting, which was, to me, as much as he's a young manager, it was very old school football management, the kind of thing that you would have seen probably 10 years ago. But, the first thing you want to do was see the players' fitness levels. And, if you watch any of the pods that we've done, one of the big things we've been critical of and we've been shouting about is how unfit our players are, that our recovery runs are really poor, that we seem to lose our legs after 60 minutes. So I think if he can improve the fitness, I think that's a major, major step to us actually being able to compete in a game and then get the best out of players, the likes of Fraser and Maxi and other players. So I think it'll come. It's a good appointment. He was somebody I spoke about kind of early on. So for me, I'm kind of delighted to see him in there. But one of the questions I wanted to ask Adam, and you kind of did speak about it, which was obviously, prior, and you mentioned it about, you put the tweet out about Eddie Howe saying, can we not get a better manager and so on. But then you've kind of gone back on that and gone, listen, I was wrong and whatever else. And, this week you've taken a fair bit of flack. I hadn't followed you up till this week, I'll be honest. I have started following you. You haven't followed me back yet, but that's okay. But I have.
You don't want to.
Don't follow. Don't follow.
I do not want to,
But
mate.
Don't follow.
It did, like, looking at some of the stuff from yesterday and today, I will give you a bit of credit because, if it was my Twitter line that was getting some of the shit that you've been getting over the last 48 hours, I probably would just shut it down and go bollocks to this. But I suppose the question I want to ask is, you've gone with the YouTube thing full time, and I suppose to lead that on, what's we do this as a bit of crack, five lads. We're all dads. We've got full-time jobs. We do it to kind of amuse ourselves, and we didn't think we'd grow the way that we have, but we're really enjoying it. But what's your long term like? I mean, what's the top echelon of what you want to get to?
Oof, in terms of that Twitter, by the way, I'm sorry for not following you back. Just be aware.
No, that's okay, mate. I know you're busy camping out. That's fine. I just thought
Block him, Adam.
Drop us a text and I'll be sure to follow you.
In fairness, that was how I got a follow off Alan Shearer. I gave him grief and I got one back. So yeah, there you go.
Fair enough. But to answer your question about stuff like that, I've had it for years now. I've been doing YouTube for over 6 years. I mean, yes, I've never had hate comments in this sort of capacity where I'm getting hundreds upon hundreds on a daily basis now. But I mean, well, all I've got to do really is look at all the positive ones. I feel like a problem with the comments in general is that even though you get thousands of positive comments, the fact is that the small minority of hate comments is the ones you sort of fixate on because they're the ones that hate you the hardest, I feel like. And in terms of me, though, well, all I've got to do is just look how my videos are doing. I mean, my videos are doing well. You can tell I'm tired, by the way. I woke with 5 more this morning. Yeah, my videos are doing well. People are clearly enjoying the video. I'm getting ridiculous amount of messages. Just people just thanking me or people just enjoying what I'm doing, which is great. I do really appreciate everyone's support. But in terms of hate comments as well, for example, there was screenshots of me slagging Eddie Howe after. Okay, fair enough. I actually think that's a fair enough one. But in terms of the rest of them, just people call me every name under the sun. I mean, again, I said this earlier on, it's the same people every single time. I mean, it is honestly harassment and bullying. I mean, I personally don't care. Again, like I said earlier, even though it's hate comments, it still benefits me because, again, it gets me more limelight, I guess. But yeah, I mean, this is what I love doing. I love Newcastle. I mean, I go to all the games. I've said this before. I pretty much I'm Newcastle through and through. And the fact I've got an opportunity to do this as a job, I mean, it is again a dream come true. I couldn't care less how many people call me whatever they want. I mean, this is what I love doing, and yeah, I mean, it's going incredibly well for us. So that's what I've got going for me, really.
Good man. I'd say, look, keep doing it. You know, the haters will hate no matter what. I put a couple of comments up on Twitter this week. Somebody, you know, kind of reached out. They were getting a bit of grief, and I said, just be you. You know, that's all you can do, and live that day, because you don't, you know, none of us are around for a long time, so we may as well do what we enjoy. And you know, until that time changes, you know, people will always comment. So I say fair play to you, mate, and you carry on doing what you enjoy. Certainly some of the content coming out has been really good. I've enjoyed the last couple of days watching it. So keep it going, mate, from my view.
And do you know what, Adam? You're in a very fortunate position as well, because if you actually take a step back, so like picture yourself looking in at you, and if you take a step back and look at what you're doing, are you hating anybody? Are you bothering anybody? Are you slagging off anybody? No. So for anyone to give you stick and have a go at you for what you're doing, really, they need to look at themselves, because it's not even as if you're being controversial, or you know, you're upsetting anyone, or you're being you know, antagonistic to anybody. You're literally just doing what you want to do, and you're sharing it with other people. And if you don't like it, don't watch it. I mean, I must have said that 100 times about loads of things, but unfortunately, you're always going to get negative comments, and you're always going to get people who have got nothing better to do than just to go online and search. It's like even that Eddie Howe comment that you mentioned. Like, someone's actually took the time to go through your timeline and find you saying a negative comment about Eddie Howe, and you're just like, really? Like, I haven't even got 10 minutes spare to like do most things. So for somebody to actually do that, I mean, like I say, mate, you've got to just, you know, like water off a duck's back. You've got to just ignore it and just crack on, because like you've said, you're getting so many fantastic comments, and loads of people are really enjoying the content. And I know that us five lads have been following you the last few days, because we've been really enjoying what you've been putting out, and it's been really insightful, and I do thank you for putting it on.
I think the thing as well is it's not about personalities. Listen, Adam may not be everybody's cup of tea. We may not be. I'm certainly not. You know, and it's one of those things. But for me, it's not necessarily, you know, about the person. It's like, I want to know as much about Newcastle and about Eddie Howe and about the training and about whatever. So for me, I don't really care who brings me that. It's the information and the subject that matters to me, not the individual. Listen, if they've got a personality, if they haven't got a personality, if it's X, Y, and Z, listen, there's loads of people don't subscribe to us. There's people don't subscribe to Adam. There's people that do sub to us. There's people that do sub to him. It's a personal choice. And if you don't like it, like, you know, I think it's the unfortunate side of the NUFC fan base. There are people that split and try and divide and conquer. I think if Adam was camped outside of, you know, another footballer's ground, or if he was a different fan, or if he was following some rock band around, he probably wouldn't get half the shits he gets. Same as we probably wouldn't with some of the stuff we put up and post. Same as Steve Wraith, the same as Paul at Toon Review. It's just unfortunate, and there is, unfortunately, which we all know, a minority of people within the fan base on a very small percentage of Twitter, which doesn't really represent the fan base, of people who just like to, for whatever reason, make a comment, incite, and try and turn the worm. So, you know, and it's a small percentage, and I think sometimes you just have to remember that the people that are on Twitter that sub or subscribe or follow or don't follow, it's a tiny amount of people compared to the actual people that turn up the ground.
Yeah, I just wanted to say as well, just kind of echo what the lads have been saying. And yeah, when I did listen to your watch a couple of your videos, Adam, in the last couple of days. I've watched them before as well, actually. And yeah, just like back in when I was your age, the rage was when people finished college was to go off and party in Australia for a year. What you're doing is way better in the sense you're trying to grow a business. What you're going to learn from that is way better than anything you could learn you going off and partying for a year in Australia and then settling down into a career. So why not give it a go? Now's the time to do it, and fair play to you for giving it a shot. And look at True Geordie. Look where he is now, and why not give it a go? Lads, I wanted to bring up a few kind of quotes from the and this is kind of for general talk with everyone from the interview with Amanda. Just things that we haven't got to discuss yet. Like she said that she talked to Eddie Howe while Mike Ashley still owned the club, so that was before the takeover. She mentioned how Eddie is dynamic. She mentioned how buying they're taking a risk by buying Newcastle now when everything is uncertain. We could get relegated. They're analysing everything and they're going to invest everywhere. And if you've seen the overlap Shearer Neville YouTube video as well, Shearer highlights that it needs the training going. The academy really needs to be invested in, and that's where we could really improve upon as well. But they're going to invest in everything. She commented on a big family that she's that's what she's seeing from talking to people, and the communication is good. The business plan is constantly evolving. The Sports Direct signs they're coming down. There's talk of potential Saudi sponsors coming in at the end of November, so pretty soon. Anthony that stood out for you from that interviewers. Anthony, that you want to talk about of some of the things I listed out there? No.
Oh,
were you talking to us? Sorry, I
thought you said
sorry. Yeah.
You're going on so long there. I actually switched off. I was looking at my phone. Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was Friday.
No, sorry. General.
From my point of view, I thought her interview was fantastic. I thought Amanda Staveley's interview was brilliant. It's just nice to see your owners coming out and being transparent to the fan base and telling us how things are. I love the fact that she talked about, they may get things wrong, but if they do, they're going to come out and tell us, and they're going to be upfront and honest about that, and they'll let us know. I just think that they are who they said they are right from the beginning, and I think we're starting to really see that in how they're communicating with us. With regards to the sponsorships, that information coming out today, I think has been really, really positive. I think Amanda Staveley mentioned, possibly within the next couple of weeks. I know that coincides with the Premier League's meeting about this sponsorship ban or whatever, but they seem very confident that they can have their new sponsorships in place. I would like to think that they've already got that stuff lined up, ready, so that they can just get it done straight away and signed off. I would like to think that their current sponsors, not just Sports Direct, but maybe like the shirt sponsors and various other ones, that they've got an amicable sort of separation in place, that's sorted, so they can just step away, so that transaction can happen quickly, because we know what the Premier League are like, and we know that the current clubs, the other 19 clubs, are not massively favourable to us. So if this doesn't pass in terms of the sponsorship ban, at some point something else will come out the woodwork. So we having this month and this ban in place for a month, this really, in my opinion, should have spurred on the ownership to have something in place, something ready to go, to make sure that we can get it in place. Because if we get these sponsorships, the amount of money, additional money that's going to come into the club, is only going to benefit us for the long run. It's not only just for this season and the amount of money that we could potentially get in for signings come January in the summer, but it allows us to build on these sponsorships moving forward. And it's that type of finance that we've been missing for 14 years, because literally Mike Ash has put the chains around us. So we have been literally just kind of everything, every bit of potential in this club has been sucked dry. We've had nothing. We've got a chance to really grow now. So love the way she spoke. Love the way she spoke about Eddie Howe in regards to how they sort of recruited him. They were very meticulous, and it came across in the way that she spoke. She wasn't just saying it. She actually backed it up with the reasons why they picked him. So it's just great to hear. It's great to hear, and you cannot not be excited by what you're hearing and what's coming out of the club right now. It's fantastic. It's something that I never thought would happen.
I think one interesting thing.
Oh, sorry, go on, Mitch.
I was going to say just on the sponsorship thing. I think it's quite an interesting point. Is you know, this ban apparently gets lifted in 2 weeks' time, and you know they're not going to allow overvalue sponsorship and stuff like that. So they're not going to allow you to do 50 million on shirt sponsor for a year or whatever. I think the interesting thing is, they'll say, right, you've been getting so much a year off Fun 88, etc. The stadium, rights, the Etihad or whatever. How can they then decide what is the class of the market value? Is it the market value of what Newcastle have been used to, or is it the market value of what other clubs have got for the same thing? Because you could look at, okay, are we valued the same as Man United and Man City? No, we're not. But if you've got, say, Etihad sponsoring the front of the shirt for Man City for such and such, then surely Newcastle should be allowed to get the same value of sponsorship off Saudi Arabia. Because at the end of the day, we, as a fan base and the new consultant, they could turn and say, our reach is now more global than it was before. So that is going to, get out there. So I don't know what anyone else thinks. I don't know what you think that. Do you think it's fair to turn around and say that has to be on market value of what Newcastle have currently been going on, or as an example of other teams in the Premier League currently?
Well, in terms of market value, I feel like with sponsorship deals, I mean, you just got to get with the sports site is my main concern at the minute. I'm sick of seeing those signs. I'm sick of seeing that rubbish around St James's Park. I don't know exactly what the Premier League laws are in these sort of Saudi Arabia deals coming in. I know they're obviously trying to go in hard in Manchester City, but I feel like with the way football laws work, I always feel like there's loopholes. I always feel like there's a way that owners can just kind of curve around these rules. And in terms of Newcastle now, we obviously need big sponsors in order to get more revenue and get obviously to bigger transfer budgets, etc. But yeah, we'll see what happens in the long run, though. Again, there's obviously a market and kind of talk about. I would love to see us get something different. I'm sick of Fun 88, by the way. I mean, I think it just ruins the shirts having those betting sponsors on. But we'll see what happens in the future, though. We'll see what we end up going for in the end. But in terms of market value, I mean, Newcastle needs to set itself up because we need to be a team that wants to be ambitious in the long run. But it's still a bit too early for me to call, but we'll see what happens. So.
I think the thing with the market value, the other thing to remember is the market value of something in the UK or Ireland is not the same as what something may be valued at in the Middle East. So whilst Man City or whilst Chelsea could get a deal for shirt sponsorship from an American tire company, that may not be the same relevant value of the current value in the Middle East for a different tire sponsorship. So that it's not always apples or apples. And I think people are getting slightly confused as to, what that valuation can be and can't be. So there's also geographical pieces around those deals in what that's valued at. So something that's valued in Saudi could be 5 times more than a valuation of something coming from London. So there's all that as well. So I think that needs to be bared in mind as well. I think George put a good piece up there earlier, which is like they're as much as this little ban is on from the Premier League at the moment, there's no legality around these kind of deals. Yes, they can review them, but there's nothing legal wise that can stop you. There you go. It's so subjective. You can't regulate or enforce it. Market value is what you're willing to pay, and it can't be enforced or kind of ruled upon. And it's certainly, from what I've seen, I'm sure George has probably got another stream, another thread ready. But it is something that they can't actually stop. It would actually be illegal to stop you doing a deal with someone. So,
I just to add in what yourself, Richie, and Pete have touched on. I think with the marketing, I think they're just going to be really savvy about it, which wouldn't surprise me at all because they are a very savvy company. I think all the Premier League are probably worried about is they don't want the Saudis to come in and say, oh, how much is your sponsorship deal for the stadium? And say the top end's like 40 million and the lowest is like $1 million, and then the Saudis come in and go, oh, we're going to pay 300 million for our sponsorship. I think what they're going to do is probably look across the board, look at all the other Premier League clubs, and they'll probably find out who's paid the top whack and then match it. Because then there's nothing that they can say about it, because they could turn around and go, well, Man United or Liverpool get the biggest because they're the biggest. But they'd say, well, we're within those targets, or we're within that guideline. So who's to say that they're more expensive than us? Do you know what I mean? But obviously, if they were to like gazump that by 3, 4, 5, 6 times, they'll say something about it. But then George has put another comment on there. You've got your sleeve sponsors, you've got your shirt sponsors, you've got the stadium sponsors, and then I think he was talking about you could get like a pitch sponsor, and you could get corner flag sponsor. There'll be ways and means around it. And they will find ways and means around it. But I think it's just about being sensible and not coming in with these huge astronomical figures, which I'm sure they won't, because they probably don't want to bring any more attention to themselves than what's already on them. So I'm not worried about that at all. Like I think that will all get resolved, and I think it's all been hot air that's blew up. And then gradually over time, as we all know, things die down, don't they? And as long as we stay below a certain limit, I think they'll just leave us alone and just let us crack on, because gradually this club will build.
I think you're absolutely spot on. It's a load of hot air, and it's all reactions to the fact that we got our takeover, and they know that we're the richest club in the world, and they know, although we're down at the bottom at the moment, that we're not going to be there forever. Even if we get relegated, we are going to come back, and we're going to be up there at some point. And that's what they don't like. The top teams don't like it because they're winning scared, because they're all beating each other at the moment. No one's guaranteed to win the league every year. But on top of that, those clubs like your Leicesters, your Aston Villas, your Evertons, your West Hams that are trying to fight to be alongside them, they know that we have the potential to blow them out the water. So none of the clubs don't like it. The teams at the bottom, the Southamptons, the Watfords, the whoever's they are at the bottom, the Burnleys, don't like it because that's one less team that has to fight for relegation every year. So that puts them down in it. So they don't like it for all those reasons. But, you know, at some point, they're going to have to agree and move on. Now, I'm fully of the mindset that this is going to run into January, and then by the summer, this kind of talk will be old news. We'll just fade into the background, and we'll just be able to do what we want, sign when we want, and sign any type of sponsorship deal. It's all at the moment because they're unhappy that they've not got what they wanted, which is been sat at the bottom without a takeover, with Mike Ashley still in charge.
Yeah. It's a hot topic.
Yeah, of course it is, and you know as well as I do, Mark, with hot topics, they only last for so long.
Today's news is tomorrow's fish and chip paper, mate.
Of course.
Yeah. Let's bring it back to Adam for a second while we have Adam on the show. Adam, I want to ask, because I haven't got to see this video yet, because I know you were trying to give Eddie the letter today, and I see from the picture he got it. But do you want? And I know you probably have a video on, but and maybe. We'll point people to your channel and to watch the video. But what was his initial reaction, or what, would you want to give us a little summary? And I don't want to spoil the video for anyone either.
It's all right, no worries. But pretty much the context about this for people that didn't know. Pretty much in 2018, a 7-year-old called Alfie sent Eddie Howe a letter when he was at Bournemouth saying, "Oh, could you please be our next manager? Could you be Callum Wilson with you?" 3 years later, both of them has happened. So I mean, you can tell me the lottery numbers as well, that'd be great. But yeah, I mean, it's just mental someone saying that. But pretty much Eddie Howe actually replied that letter saying, "Sorry, I can't do it at the minute, but obviously I would love to meet you at some point." But yeah, I mean, 3 years later, of course, both from coming to Newcastle and there was someone on Twitter that was posted about it saying, "Oh, we need Eddie Howe to say this," and pretty much Alfie's grandmother was commenting down below saying, "Oh, Alfie would love to meet Eddie Howe." So in terms of it, I was going to the training ground anyway today. So I mean, I had a chance to write a letter out and give it to Eddie Howe directly. So my sort of intentions behind that is, I mean, it kind of puts it out there. It gives Alfie a chance to actually meet him. In terms of stuff in social media, I mean, again, this is something that everyone would want to say. I mean, it's a great story. I feel like Eddie Howe, with all the work he does, he probably would have forgot about that letter. He didn't remember that letter when I asked him, but yeah, I mean, again, though, I mean, I just can't believe this kid 3 years ago predicted that happened. But yeah, I think it's just one of them sort of touchy moments, and hopefully things escalate from here and Alfie actually gets to meet him. But we'll see what happens. But the point is, it's just a gesture, really. I was going out anyway, so why not? That's probably the best way of putting it.
It's really nice, mate. Really
Good on
nice.
you, mate. Seriously.
Yeah,
it's cool. Yeah, it's cool. I think if Eddie Howe ever watches this, we should try and start this campaign. If the amount of time you're spending at the training ground, he should invite you in for a kick around someday. That should be the target goal, I think, Adam.
Yeah.
Bring the boots.
Obviously, I'm not entitled to anything though.
Yeah. I can see the next YouTube video. Adam Pearson does the beep test. Just not after a 30-hour day sitting outside. Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh, God.
I just wanted to ask you. Obviously, I know you mentioned it before. You touched on it before. You travel at home and away, every game up and down the country. Seen you a number of times, but you're too busy right in the middle of things, either on someone's shoulders or throwing things in the air, going mad. Like you boys, you travel with quite a big group. Is that right? To most games.
Well, personally, I just go to all the games anyway. Without trying to sound cocky, there's always people that know us. It's not really about planning games. It's just about getting on the bus, really, for me. But I mean, in terms of buses, I normally go on the same coach every time, so it's kind of the regulars in there. But in terms of matches, though, I mean, I don't just go to all the games, so I go all on the 23s, the women's matches. I feel like with those two, there's just not enough sort of coverage on YouTube, really. So, again, yes, I'm aware those sort of videos won't do as well as the other ones, but it's kind of just about getting it out there. Who knows, maybe in the long run something might happen to me. But in terms of those videos, so I just enjoy going to the games. It's not about business. Well, it is somewhat business-wise, but it's also I enjoy doing it. That's why I go to them. I mean, I'm a Newcastle fan for I love Newcastle there, which is why I'm always doing this stuff for them. But in terms of away matches, though, I mean, I was going to them before Mike actually left. Now Mike now, so I mean, going to away matches now is exciting. It's ambitious. We still with a match this season, but I enjoy going down. I mean, Brighton and Palace. I mean, yes, weren't great performances, but two draws. Those two aren't actually that bad. So, yeah, we'll see how things go. But I mean, I just love going to the games, really.
Do you prefer home or away?
Ooh, it's a good one actually. I would probably say away. I don't know what it is away. I just prefer more anticipation. I don't know. I feel like our away record is better this year as well. I feel like every home match this season I think has been shocking. Whereas I think a couple of the away ones, for example, the Watford one, we actually played well and we just didn't get the win. So yeah, I actually think we're better away than home at the minute. But yeah, personally though, I prefer the away matches.
Me and Chris, we've had a chat about this before, and we just love the away days. The away days are you get the most craziest fans, Newcastle fans at the away days. The chanting, the celebrations, the goal celebrations, just everything about an away day. I don't know what it is. I think maybe what it is that with an away day you've kind of got less chance of winning. So when you win or when you score, it means so much more because you're on their turf. And I just cannot wait for those days when they come, and hopefully they come soon, where we go to those games and we dominate possession, or we play attacking football. We go mental when we have one chance on goal.
Oh, hello.
Or when we score one goal. It's like the one thing that I used to say. Me and my mate Lowell, we go to a lot of the away games together, and me and Chris mentioned it as well. It's like if we get a goal, like, we're buzzing. Like, that's it. If we get one goal, even if we lose like 3-1, we just get one goal and that one chance to go absolutely mental. But hopefully things will change and we'll be able to celebrate like that more than once.
Yeah.
Moving forward.
It'll be amazing, won't it, going to away games and actually expecting to win. Like I can't remember the last time I went on an away and I genuinely in my heart thought, yeah, we're going to win this. Like, well, to be fair, I don't feel like that at home either. But away even more. But yeah, no, like you say, Pete, I think it's about being in the minority, isn't it? You know that there's 2, 3, 4, 5,000 of you against the rest of the stadium, and you're there to just sing your heart out and just get behind the lads. And then for that 90 minutes, nothing else matters other than supporting the team, and like you just cheer for everything, don't you? And you just will them on.
Yeah, I agree. Cannot wait. We've got some planned in the future. I think we've just secured the Leicester.
Yeah.
I'll be there at Arsenal as well. So yeah, should be good.
Cool, lads. I think we'll probably wrap up for the night. Adam, I want to say thanks for coming on and joining us, because you've had a busy day and another one. Get some rest over the weekend and back at it again then, because it's great that you bring us that content, because nearly all of us don't have the opportunity to get close to the training ground or Newcastle even. So, but yeah, we'll be keeping an eye on your videos. Just want to also a few little things to round up. Say if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button, or go to youtube.com/3/loadedhq. We've already mentioned about the membership, but you know what? It's that little join button you'll see there as well. And We've got 3 members already, I think, from tonight. That's great news. Coming up on Monday, we have something special. A friend of yours, Adam, a friend of ours as well. He's been in the chat as well. We start our loaded tune review. We're coupling up with Paul from the tune review. So, yes, Paul from Love Island. You might remember him as when he came on our show. So you'll see on Paul's show, we're on Monday, on Paul's channel, I should say. And then the following Monday, Paul's on our channel. So we're going to try that for a while and see how we get on. And talking all topical Newcastle stuff. Then coming up on Wednesday, Martin, you'll have a show with this man. And congratulations to this man who won the United as One award at the NUFC Foundation Awards.
Yeah. So Wednesday night, 8:00 is going to be myself, Richie, and Maydad. No, it's actually not. It's going to be Josh Barnyard. But yeah, Josh can feel free to bring all of those other 3 with him if he wishes on Wednesday night. But yeah, we did a show a while back, probably about a year ago now, to be fair, on mental health. Josh came on, we had a good chat, and there's been a few people, Danielle and a few others who follow us, kind of asked for a bit of a rerun. So I know that Josh had been getting bombarded since his win there the other night, and very, very well deserved it was. So I DM'd him yesterday and said, fancy a chat? And he went, yeah, I'm free Wednesday. So we're going to catch up. We're going to chat about his night at the foundation. We're going to have a bit of a chat about men's mental health and where we're all at right now. And have a good catch up for an hour. So join us for that. Should be good.
Cool. Nice one, Martin. And Thursday, you're talking about away days. There's one coming up. Pizza Away Days show. So we have the Besotted fans from Brentford coming on.
Yeah, we've got Besotted Brentford. They're really, really looking forward to coming on and talking the game. Obviously, there's now sort of a renewed interest in this game, as there may have not been before, because obviously Eddie Howe, first game in charge. We'll be talking Brentford and their really positive start to the season, and obviously looking at how Eddie Howe's going to set up, what to expect. It's all kind of brand new. We're not under Bruce anymore. We kind of don't know what to expect from our Newcastle team. So it'll be really, really interesting to talk Newcastle United in the build-up. So myself, Chris, hopefully will be available 7:00 next week. Tune in, because it should be a good one.
Cheers, Pete. As I was trying to get through the last 2 comments there, just a reminder again, if you're just coming in late, to sign up to 1892United.com. And we had Bronwyn on earlier, and you can catch that on playback if you want to catch from the start. Again, thanks again to Adam, and we'll leave it there for tonight. And enjoy the weekend, everyone. I think it's time to play out with another bit of Howe. Any objections? Raise your hand.
No. I'm with you.
Yeah, it's only me and Chris. Adam, take care.
It might be too old.
Nice to meet you, man. Thanks, Adam.
Yeah.
Don't forget that follow, pal. Don't forget that follow.
Subscribe to Adam. Subscribe to Loaded.
Yes.
Good night, everyone.
Good luck.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.
Oh.